Good evening. Most likely I'm the only Egyptian Zionist you will ever meet in your life. But I'm not here as your friend. I'm here as your brother. We have to understand. In the age of 18, back home in Egypt, studying a law to become a lawyer, I converted from Islam to Christianity. In the age of 20, I was arrested by the Egyptian authority. I was tortured very severely, and I was sentenced to death in Egypt. Before my death penalty to take place by 4 days, I escaped from Cairo to Alexandria to Sinai. I stole a jet ski and I crossed the border from Taba to Eilat. Back home, the news, the media, the school system, your teachers, everybody will teach you to hate Jews. And I'm telling you, I'm standing in front of you right now because God used Israel to save my life. On October 7, all of us will, would you mind, sorry, I just want to get close to you, I'm sorry about that. On October 7, we woke up on a massacre. On a massacre, there is nothing less to describe it. But this massacre, like every dark event in the history, made us stronger, made us more powerful, and made us understand how we can fight in order this not to happen again. And I need to tell you, when the massacre of October 7 happened, and I was a week later, I was in Israel, side by side with the IDF in the front lines in Gaza. I need to tell you, the two main surprises that came out of it is not the hate of Hamas. It's part of their laws, it's part of their regulation, it's part of their foundation. But how two elements surprise us. Number one is how the Palestinian people, the people in Gaza, reacted to this attack. And don't give me this nonsense that there is no responsibility will fall on the people that voted for Hamas. Yes. And today, if there is an election in Gaza and West Bank, Hamas will win this election. The second surprise that we met was how the antisemitism that we see here in our country. And I want personally to thank Hamas leader showing us the ugly face of antisemitism that none of us expected that. Today, you have Jewish schools, synagogue, being bombed, being fired at, and because we have a weak leadership, and I know what all of you saying. I understand when everybody comes on the stage and say, vote whatever you like, it's a free country. Like they try to sugarcoat it. Let me not sugarcoat, I'm a brown guy. Let me not sugarcoat it. We have an idiot of a prime minister. Is the only prime minister did not go to Israel after October 7, in G7. Is the only prime minister unable to take a stand. Is the only prime minister that withdrew. Is the only prime minister that failed us as a Jewish, as a Christians. Is the only prime minister that cannot protect his country. And is the only prime minister that we need to change next election. We have to understand that there is an old anti-Semitism and a new anti-Semitism. The old anti-Semitism during Hitler time, it was speeches about kill the Jews, hate the Jews. That was the old anti-Semitism. The new anti-Semitism that we are facing today is the anti-Semitism of Israel. It's the same exact anti-Semitism, but instead of saying Israel, instead of saying Jews, they would say Israel. It's the same anti-Semitism. And the demonstrators outside that they are wearing a mask. By the way, I don't wear a mask. When I'm in a rally, I don't wear a mask. For two reasons. Number one, because I'm very handsome. Thank you very much. Let it go, let it go. Because I speak the truth and I'm not scared to show my face. And the question that these demonstrators have to answer us, the question that this demonstration have to answer us, where have you been when Taliban took over Afghanistan? Where have you been when China was killing the Muslim Uyghurs? Where have you been when Bashar al-Assad of Syria was killing his own people? Where have you been when Saudi Arabia attacked Yemen and was killing their own children? You was not nowhere for one simple reason. You don't care really about human rights. You are simply anti-Semitic. And I tell them from here right now, I tell them, I agree with you. Let's free Gaza. I agree with you. Let's free Gaza. Let's free Gaza from Hamas. Let's free Lebanon from Hezbollah. Let's free Iran from Khomeini regime that have been killing their own people. Let's free the region from the garbage that's stealing from their own people for their own benefit. While the Palestinian people dying in Gaza, the leadership of Hamas is 7 Stars Hotel in Qatar. Hamas hurted more their own people more than anybody else. Hezbollah hurt more the Lebanese people more than anybody else. The Khomeini regime hurt the Iranian people more than anybody else. I did not meet one Jewish or one Israeli hate Palestinians, hate Lebanese, or hate Iranians. And we have to understand an important element. I get people all the time, they come and they ask me, are you Jewish? I tell them, why are you thinking that I'm Jewish? And they say, because you fight for Israel. You fight for the Jewish people. Are you Jewish? I need to tell you something. You don't need to be Jewish to stand for Israel. I am Jewish when I'm fighting anti-Semitism. I'm a Sunni when I'm fighting for the Rohingya and the Uyghurs in Burma and in China. I'm a Shia when I'm fighting for the Ismailis. I'm a Baha'i when I'm fighting for the human rights in Iran. I'm an Ahmadiyya when I'm fighting for the minorities in Pakistan. I'm a woman when I'm fighting for equality. And I'm gay when I'm fighting against the killing of the LGBT community in Iran and in Russia. I am black, I'm white, and my favorite color brown. My very close friend, they call me brown sugar. That's a different story. My very, very close friend, they call me 50 Shades of Brown, but that's a different story. If we stop fighting for each other, we lose our humanity. You have to understand that we don't fight hate by hate, revenge by revenge, or evil by evil. We fight hate by love, revenge by forgiveness, and evil by the power of the living God. And that's the true Christian heart. In the end, dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, as we stand beside each other, I need to remind you of something so that your enemy does not make you forget. I would like to remind you that after every night there is new morning carrying new day. After every storm there is sunshine. And after every persecution there is victory. I need to remind you, our enemy, the enemy of freedom, the enemy of love and hope, have very strong army, it's true. Have very strong weapon, it's true. But we have the Lord Almighty, and this is a fact. I would like to remind you, and if nothing you will remember from today, remember this. They can kill the believers, but they cannot kill the belief of our hearts. They can kill the dreamer, but nobody can kill the dream. We will return the hostage and Amn Israel Chai if they like it or not. Thank you. Thank you.